Yo, what's up? So today we are going to discuss how to stay motivated and learn programming. Intro. What's going on, guys? Another day, another video. So in any profession, when you're going after a particular job and you're on the outside looking in, it seems like there are bright lights everywhere and energy is nonstop. When you don't have the job that you desire, when you get that job, you can't really see yourself ever being uninterested in that work. But even in your career field of choice, we all know that motivation can be zapped. Personally, I think the probability of having your energy zapped in the software and development field is fairly high, and it's for a few reasons. More often than not, the type of work you take on will have direct impact on the level of enjoyment you'll have doing it. For example, scenario one, you're writing a script that basically takes a video game character and allows him to shoot lasers out of his eyes. Versus scenario two, you're writing a script that basically takes data out of a database and allows you to export it to Excel. Now, to each his own, but I would imagine that it's a little bit more interesting working on the video game character. Now, if most of your time is spent working or coding on things that are similar to scenario two, that can be pretty deflating, and you can easily lose motivation, so you want to combat that. Now, unfortunately, most likely, you're not going to be able to tell your employer which projects you will or will not work on, because that's how you get fired. However, you have complete control in determining what type of personal projects you take on outside of work, which leads me to my first recommendation on staying motivated. Take on personal projects. Now, the reason that personal projects are great is that they allow you to grow and explore in a way that's tailored to you. Let's say that you're trying to learn JavaScript promises in depth. You could easily find an article or a breakdown that shows you what promises are and how to use them. That said, you'll almost always find greater value in creating a personal project that requires the utilization of JavaScript promises to create a particular feature. Now, why exactly is this the case? Why are personal projects such good mediums to learn new concepts? Well, when you're learning a concept specific to a custom feature you're trying to build, you're forced to learn the nuances and lower level details of that concept to make it work. Just having a general base understanding, that may help you answer questions on a test, but that may not be sufficient enough in order for you to build that feature that you're trying to. So taking on personal projects is a super effective way to learn a concept. One, because they can be as fun as you want them to be, and two, because they force you to truly understand and investigate details associated with that concept that may be critical to the feature that you're trying to build. And as a result of all the fun you're having, you'll be staying motivated along the way. It's also very easy to lose motivation when you feel that progress in learning is really slow or maybe just completely stagnant. I mean, there's nothing worse than wanting to build something really cool. You have a great idea, but you don't really have the necessary skills to implement it. It can be completely frustrating and demotivating because you can't learn fast enough to get to the grand idea that you want to build. When you're going through those basic but necessary tutorials, it feels like you're not moving quick enough. Very often as developers, or maybe just me, but I'm gonna speak for all developers, we often want to jump right in and get to the great thing that we want to build, whether it be an app or some type of video game. However, there's always a learning process that can be fairly slow and somewhat mundane. Given how far away you are from actually building that great idea, it can be very demotivating. But again, you have to combat that. I think a great way to combat that is first understanding that every developer who's made something great had to spend a ton of time improving his or her skills. Understand that no one, I repeat, no one has gotten there overnight. If you learn at a slower pace, don't get discouraged. The key is that you're learning and internalizing the information efficiently, as we all learn at different rates. When you're learning a particular coding language, learn to appreciate the grind. By grind, I'm referring to those moments that feel dull, those moments that seem tiring, those moments that seem as if it's only worth it to gloss over the information. For example, we can all agree that learning about C# interfaces in and of themselves isn't the most exciting part of your day. But if you learn them, internalize the information, they will be a lifesaver when you're trying to build an app and you need to get around the limitation or restriction or constraint of not being able to have multiple inheritance. So again, when it comes to staying motivated to learn programming, don't worry about how fast or slow you're moving. As long as you're efficiently progressing and internalizing the information, you'll be right on track. Now, my final recommendation on how to stay motivated to learn programming is to attack each concept in small chunks. Now, I'm sure we've all heard the phrase that Rome was not built in a day. I can apply that same concept to learning a new programming language. A great way to stay motivated is to set practical and reasonable goals for yourself. As a new developer with no prior experience, it's not practical to say that you're going to learn a new language in 3 months. You're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. And as a result, you're going to be zapping your motivation. Help yourself out. Create achievable milestones by learning new concepts in small chunks. For example, say that you're attempting to learn the Unreal Engine blueprint scripting language, and you're specifically dealing with functions. There are tons of ways to utilize functions in that system, so attack it in small chunks. Don't try to worry about macros or events, just stick with functions. Set a practical goal for yourself, specifically dealing with those. And once you have a solid understanding, move on to something else, and you can count that as a win. It's all about working efficiently, but being realistic. Don't set yourself up for failure by creating unreasonable expectations. So again, attack your learning in a practical manner. I really hope that this helps some of you who occasionally see yourselves losing motivation as you're learning a new language. Don't be discouraged, we all go through it at various points. All in all, I appreciate you guys for checking out my video. Please continue to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and I will see you on next time.